This is the AEW Dynamite August 6, 2025 full show results video, which takes place at Cleveland's Wolstein Center. The show opens with Maxwell Jacob Friedman backstage calling Hangman Adam Page out and complaining about being made to either cash in or earn his title. He says Mark Briscoe is gonna pay, and he's the devil and he'll send him straight to hell or to dumpster fire, Delaware, where he can be a loser chicken farmer blue-collar bitch, white trash that got lucky. The people pity him, they feel bad for him, and tonight he's gonna give them another reason. Then we saw a match between Jon Moxley versus Speedball Mike Bailey. We see Marina Shaffer looming over Speedball on the floor while they rub their eyes. Wheeler Yuta runs interference, and she kicks Bailey's leg right out of their leg. Kevin Knight jawing at Shaffer, Moxley throws Mike back inside and pats Kevin on the cheek. In the end, Jon Moxley blasts Bailey with a boot, crash landing connects, Moxley presses the attack, Bulldog Choke does its job, underhooks, and delivers Death Rider to win the match by pinfall. Toni Storm and Alex Windsor are interviewed backstage and Toni says you can beat them down, but you can't beat them off. Windsor says you can't give her a lick without her giving a lick back. Storm says if Athena wants to whip out her John Hancock, we can do this here tonight, and they tango off together. We get footage of Wheeler Yuta getting thrown out of a car with a piece of paper with Forbidden Door written on it, and Death Riders rescuing him as commentary tells us it's a message from Darby Allin. Footage from earlier today plays, and Renee Paquette interviews Mercedes as she gets out of her limousine, festooned in titles like a Distaff Ultimo Dragon. Mercedes shuts Paquette up when she brings up her loss at All In and tells her not to be such a mark before walking off. Then we saw an AEW TBS Championship qualifying match between Alex Windsor versus Billy Starks versus Queen Aminata versus Sky Blue. The match kicked off with chaotic action as Starks was sent outside, leaving Windsor and Aminata to attack Sky Blue. Aminata briefly took control before Blue dragged her out and sent her into the steel steps. Blue and Starks then teamed up on Windsor, but Aminata returned with a big boot to Blue. The momentum shifted repeatedly with power moves like Windsor's Blue Thunder Bomb, Starks' Splash, and a sharpshooter locked on Starks. Aminata broke the submission and landed heavy strikes. A series of German suplexes and double headbutts left all four women down. Near the end, Blue introduced a chair, using it to strike Aminata before being slammed onto it herself. As chaos continued, Athena tried to interfere but was stopped by Toni Storm. In the final moments, Starks grabbed Windsor, but Windsor countered with a surprise roll-up to steal the victory in a fast-paced, hard-hitting contest full of near-falls and surprises. After the match, Mercedes makes her way out and gets in the ring. Mercedes and Windsor are face-to-face, then Athena hits the O-face off the top rope on Storm, and Mercedes hits a backstabber on Windsor. Mercedes and Athena then stare one another down in something of a show of respect to one another. We then see Renee Paquette interviewing the Young Bucks in the backstage area. Renee gets really excited about Brodito, then Bucks notices a production guy nearby and gives him crap about their entrance and ring announcements lately. They then demand their pyro back and a proper ring announcement from Justin Roberts. The production guy then chuckles and tells them he will take care of it. Renee Paquette welcomed AEW TNT champion Kyle Fletcher to the ring alongside Don Callis and the Callis family. Don Callis quickly took over, stating Renee should have asked why he's assembling the largest faction in wrestling history. The answer, he said, is power. Callis emphasized that holding gold means controlling destiny, referencing Okada's 3 championships since joining the family. He praised Fletcher's TNT title win, calling it his favorite moment of the year, and hinted Fletcher may have retired a legend. Fletcher then declared Dustin Rhodes got what he deserved at All In, claiming a 60-year-old has no place in the ring with him. He also suggested that Adam Cole's absence is due to him. Confident and cocky, Fletcher vowed to become not just the greatest TNT champion ever, but the greatest of all time. Callis, in theatrical fashion, revealed a painting of Fletcher with himself, claiming he painted it by hand. The segment ended with Fletcher crediting Callis for his success, promising victory on Collision regardless of his opponent, and raising the TNT championship high as his music played. Adam Copeland is interviewed backstage, says he doesn't know how he feels Christian Cage came out with zero remorse, he's learned nothing and has no concept of the asshole he's been these last few years, but he's got his hands full with Kip Sabian, Nick Wayne, and Shayna Wayne, and Copeland has his hands full with FTR and Stokely Hathaway. Now he knows he can't get within 200 feet of them, so he went to Tony Khan and got a match for next week against Stokely Hathaway with a stipulation where if FTR get involved, their restraining order is null and void. So, do they want to keep him away, or do they want to throw Stoke to the big bad wolf? They've got a week to think about it. The Young Bucks' entrance turns into a comedic disaster as the screen malfunctions, forcing them to crawl out. Justin Roberts reads their intro note awkwardly, their pyro misfires, their cheer-in says Max and Jeremy, and cheesy ice cream truck music plays, topped off with a hilariously bad graphic design is My Passion graphic. Then we saw a match between Brodito, Bandito and Brody King versus Generation Me, Max and Jeremy Buck, and the result of this match was Brodito won the match by pinfall with the monkey flip splash on Matt Jackson. Renee Paquette interviews the Hurt Syndicate backstage when Maxwell Jacob Friedman rolls up to chat with Montel Vontavious Porter. MJF says with all due respect, MVP has known him since he was 17, and he doesn't need Bobby Lashley or Shelton Benjamin, they just need each other, and they can get the title back. Porter says joining the Hurt Syndicate was about we hurt people, but he's been me, and it is what it is, and he's out of the Hurt Syndicate, and that's that. But in one final act of kindness, because MVP does love him like a little brother, they'll leave him in one piece to chase the title. Max realizes it really is just business and says as much, and Montel says that's true now, but if he wins the title, Bob will be coming for him, and it will be personal. Backstage, FTR addressed the upcoming tag tournament finals and issued a restraining order against Adam Copeland for his safety. Stokely Hathaway called Copeland a bully and vowed to beat him next week in Cincinnati, promising to send him home embarrassed after being pinned by Big Stoke with a smile. Shane Swerve Strickland, joined by Prince Nana, dismissed Don Callis due to unified championship rules and past dominance. He respected Okada's talent but declared himself truly one of a kind. Swerve promised to defeat Okada at the O2 Arena, holding the title high as the crowd chants, "Whose house? Swerve's house." Backstage, Mark Briscoe declares it's time for action, vowing Max will pay on the Day of Atonement. Hangman Adam Page joins, reflecting on their 14-year history and expressing deep respect for Briscoe. He wishes him luck, hoping a win puts Briscoe in line for a future title shot. Backstage, Queen Aminata tells Renee Paquette she knew she could beat Mercedes last time. Willow Nightingale joins in, praising Aminata and hyping their team for Triangle Madness on Collision. Chris Statlander appears, rallying in the name of womanhood and passing the mic to Willow, who vows to protect her teammates and win. The segment ends playfully as Statlander throws toilet paper confetti at Willow and runs off laughing. In the main event of the show, we saw a match between Mark Briscoe versus MJF, and the result of this match was MJF defeated Mark Briscoe by pinfall when MJF hit a piledriver on the ring apron. He then goes for the cover, and on 2 Briscoe gets his foot on the bottom rope, but the referee does not see it and counts to 3. After the match, MJF attacked Mark Briscoe with his diamond ring. As he celebrated, Hangman Page arrived and brawled with MJF. Security tried to separate them, but the fight spilled into the ring. Just as Page prepared a buckshot lariat, MJF escaped, chaotically ending AEW Dynamite. How would you rate this week's AEW Dynamite show? Tell me in the comments, and thanks for watching.